Hi, I'm Brandon. I'm an alcoholic and addict in recovery, and today I'm reading some from The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer about spiritual blockages in the heart. This really reminded me of what we talk about in recovery as keeping your side of the street clean and really making sure that you're not developing any resentments and that you're processing events that happen in your life so that they don't weigh you down and keep you from doing what really is the most important thing, which is living life moment to moment. So let's get into all of this. I've discussed in several of these videos and reading several of the books I've read, especially The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle, the importance of living life in the moment. The concept is the moment is really all we have. That's all that we truly know we have. And so it's important to live in the moment and then to move on to the next moment. Singer says here, what it means to live life is to experience the moment that is passing through you and then experience the next moment and then the next. Many different experiences will come in and pass through you. It's a phenomenal system when it's working properly. If you could live in that state, you would be a fully aware being. So that's the ultimate goal. And because when we start to live in the past, that's when we develop depressive tendencies. When we start to live in the future, that's when anxiety starts to develop. So really living in the moment is the goal. And so we have to make sure that we keep things tidy in terms of the way that we handle life and the events that happen in life in order to help us live in the moment. And that's where he brings in the metaphor of the blue Mustang. So, what he's saying here is that there are times where something happens that creates what he calls a blockage in the heart. And when he's talking about the heart, he's talking about the spiritual heart, the spiritual center. And he says that, we ideally want to live in the moment, allow moments to pass through us. But that's not what happens inside most of us. Instead, it's more like you're driving down the street. Here come the trees, here come the cars, and it's all passing right through you with no trouble. Then, inevitably, something comes in that doesn't make it through. There was this one car, a light blue Ford Mustang, that looked like your girlfriend's car. But as it passed by, you noticed two people hugging in the front seat. At, uh, at least it looked like they were hugging, and it sure looked like your girlfriend's car. But it was a car like all the other cars, wasn't it? No, it wasn't just like all the other cars to you. Let's look carefully at what happened. Surely for the camera of the eyes, there's no difference between that car and the others. There's light bouncing off of objects, passing through your retina and making a visual impression on your mind. So at the physical level, nothing different is going on. But at the mental level, the impression didn't make it through. When the next moment comes, you no longer notice the rest of the trees. You're not seeing the rest of the cars. Your heart and mind are fixated on that one car, even though it's gone. You've got yourself a problem here. There's a blockage, an event that got stuck. All the subsequent experiences are trying to pass through you, but something has happened inside that has left this experience unfinished. So he goes on to talk about this a little bit more and how it relates to what's called a samskara in yogic practices, and this is related to unfinished energy patterns in life. And some of the language that he used didn't quite uh, fit with the way I think about the world. Trying to be open-minded, but just to be honest, it didn't quite fit the way I think about things. But what really made a lot of sense to me was the idea that we have to process the events that happen in our lives that get stuck in our heads in order to move on and live in the moment as much as possible. And too often, as alcoholics and addicts, we will take that blue Mustang and we will take the thought about what that means, and were those two people really your girlfriend and some other guy, and did she lend the car to somebody, and if so, how is she getting around? Is someone else driving her around? And we just run with these thoughts. And instead of actually processing them and looking at the events in life and just doing the next right thing about them, we let these thoughts get stuck in us. And we let these energy patterns develop where these thoughts are just feeding off of each other. And so all of our time and energy, instead of being spent experiencing the moment, allowing it to pass through, doing the next right thing, we're spending obsessed on these little things that happen that we just have not yet processed and have not yet dealt with. This is why when I was in treatment for addiction, we had every day we had process group where you came in there and talked about whatever was on your mind for that day, whatever was bothering you, whatever was bringing you down. And I typically always had something to talk about. It was a great opportunity for me because a lot of times, and I know this is very true for other addicts and people in recovery, I just keep stuff to myself. And I recognize that I've gotten kind of bad about that recently. I've been keeping things to myself. I haven't been processing the way that I should. And I haven't been, utilizing some of the tools in my network, like my friends in recovery, my sponsor even. I've not been talking to him as much, and maybe I need to be doing that a little bit more in order to avoid a situation where these thoughts, these emotions get trapped and prevent me from experiencing the moment, and not getting caught up in the world around me. And so I think it's really important for us to remember that keeping your side of the street clean isn't just about making sure that you're not developing resentments, or that you're not that you're handling contentious situations with other people as they come up. It's also about processing your own thoughts and anything that's in your head that needs to get out, that you need to get out, so that you can move on with life. That's a big part of keeping your side of the street clean. And so tomorrow I'll continue with this chapter a little bit, talk some more about this metaphor, kind of how it relates to recovery, how we move past these blocked energy patterns. And the important thing to remember, and the thing that really hit me when I was looking at this, is that it's so important for us to process. It's one of the reasons that we need a network, that we need meetings, that we need sponsors, that we need therapists, spiritual guides in our lives. We need people to talk to about the things that come to mind, the things that get stuck. That's a human experience. It's okay to have those experiences, and it's okay to share them. And I just want to remind everybody that by sharing those experiences with other people, you're actually likely helping those people, because more often than not, they've had similar experiences. And this is what happened to me last night. I was hearing a lot of people share a lot of their experiences at a meeting, and it made me realize that I wasn't doing enough sharing myself, and that maybe I could help myself by doing some more of that. So you never know when you being vulnerable and sharing yourself with others is going to actually help other people in addition to helping you. And that's the beauty of what we do in recovery programs. That's the beauty of the fellowship that we have together, and the opportunity that we have to help each other by helping ourselves. So I hope you have a good day, and I'll be back here tomorrow with more.